Hello, today's video is about two very good Atari 2600 games, Phoenix and Space Invaders. Now Phoenix was originally released in the arcade in 1980 by Century, and Atari ported it over to the 2600 in 1982. Now when you compare the Atari 2600 Phoenix to the arcade Phoenix, it's not so great. But when you consider that it's an Atari 2600 game, Phoenix is pretty good. It had all 5 of the arcade screens, the Warbird screens, the Phoenix screens, and the Mothership screen. Now there were a few differences. One is that on the Phoenix screens, the Phoenixes don't start out as eggs like on the arcade. They start out as Phoenix birds. Another difference is that on the Mothership screen, there are no Warbirds to protect the Mothership like in the arcade. And one more difference is that on the 2600 Phoenix, your ship is sitting on a planet's surface, whereas in the arcade, it's in outer space. Now, Phoenix in the arcade and 2600 gives you a shield that protects your ship. And on the 2600, to activate the shield, you have to push down on the joystick. Now let's talk about Space Invaders for the Atari 2600. Space Invaders was originally released in the arcade by Taito in 1978, and Atari ported it over to the Atari 2600. And the Atari 2600 Space Invaders has 112 game variations, and I think the first 17 of those game variations is one-player games, and the rest are two-player games. Now, on some variations, your shields move, and on others, the invaders are invisible. And here is a cheat that you may not know. If you hold down the reset button, or the reset switch, while you turn on the Atari 2600, the game starts and you get to fire 2 shots on the screen at once instead of your regular 1. Now, this has always been one of my favorite 2600 games, Space Invaders. And when my friend sold his Space Invaders to my brother, I was upset that he didn't offer it to me first. One thing that I don't like about Space Invaders for the Atari 2600 is that the score can only go up to 9,999. When it reaches 10,000, reaches 10,000, score goes back to 0. But this is a really good game, and so was the Atari 2600 Phoenix. And I actually like Space Invaders for the Atari 2600 better than the arcade version because it's easier. Well, this has been my video. Thanks for watching.